Hi, I'm Lori Harris, and I'm here today at my house with a couple of my own beehives. These are traditional beehives that are made out of wooden components, but we're going to show you today how you can reuse some old Legos and actually make a Lego beehive that is a fully functioning, honey-producing, exciting beehive. And we hope you'll join us as we work on it and show you how to put it together. With me today I have James. James has built a couple hives for me, quite a few hives for me, and he built a Lego beehive that we're using as a demonstration for the state fair. And then over here I've got my friend Benny. And Benny, in one of my nature schools, actually built a Lego beehive with some of his friends, and that hive made 100 pounds of honey. So join us as we set about to make this hive, and we hope you'll follow along and decide to make one too. So this is one of the Lego beehives that we've put together already. This is going to function just like a regular beehive in that it has the frames here that the bees are going to build their honeycomb on, and we need to be able to fit 8 of these in place. So Benny, if you were a bee and you were on your way into this hive, how would you enter the hive? Yeah, exactly. The entrance is down here. Okay. All right, and then we have 2 brood boxes. Yeah, guard bees would sit up there and sort of keep watch. The families are in these 2 bottom boxes, along with the resources they need to raise them: the honey, the pollen, the beeswax, and then we'll put a queen excluder on and another super, which is where the honey will come in. We're going to use it as a template. We'll draw around the base and get the exact footprint for you so that you know how big to make yours. Let's check it out. All right, so that's our template. We asked for donations of a bunch of Legos from the community, and they came up with a lot of different boxes for us. But they're things that the kids have actually been in the process of building. So we do need to sort them out and get some good materials. Oh, bless you.
One of the keys to building a solid beehive is you always overlap your Legos. So here's a gap right here where there's an opening, and then a bridge is a piece that goes across and it keeps the 2 from pulling away. So here's a gap, and here's a bridge. It goes right on top, and this is, I could pull this all day long. I could hook a truck on each end and it would never separate. Whereas if you put it like this, and if you stack it like this, it twists. No, don't want twisty, because that leads to walls falling.
So that method that James just showed you about how to do the bridge and the that goes over top of the gap, that's going to give you a really strong build, and it's going to be able to support all that weight of the honey.
These little 1x2s are good for filler material.
Not good for regular material.
No, they are one of the most prime candidates for the wall tip collapsing on itself.
So I put these on the top?
You can put those in, say, like right here. See how this is?
Like right there?
Like right here. There you go. See? That way, you put another brick over this, it's going to lock it all together.
Then I put this on there.
Yeah, that's perfect. Now you're getting it. Yeah. I'm making
Hey, I
sure.
want to build this.
So interlocking the bricks makes it strong enough to hold the honey in. And also make sure that the predators have no easy ways of pushing walls in and getting into the beehive. Last thing you want to do is find out that the predator has pushed in on a brick and it is knocked a whole segment of the wall down, and now it's full of predators. And they've taken all the bees out.
I like how you guys are making this nice and strong, because once the frames are in there and the bees fill them up with honey, it can easily weigh about 100 pounds. So the box has to be really strong. And can you guys count up the pegs both horizontally and vertically and let me know how many pegs this took? What'd you get? I got 63.
Bingo, 63.
Go ahead and write down 63 so we don't forget it. Okay, then we'll count this way.
I guess there's at least 100 here. So far.
42. Well, I got 42 that way.
So
Do an X.
Oh, I did.
You do an X. That means by. 63 by 42.
I was pretty close.
Yeah, you were. We'll double check that.
It's 105.
All right, 63 by 42 pegs. Okay, good deal.
That's why the footprint exists.
How many rows do we have to go up?
I believe it is.
Let's count. 23. I got 23 before it changes. All right, so we're gonna go 23 levels up. So can you do another X 23 for height? X 23. So this gets an L for length.
It's an H for height.
And a W for width. And an H for height. All right, good deal. So James and I have pretty much all of the components of the beehive ready to put together. It goes together as a typical beehive does. We've got the base here. It's really sturdy because it has to hold a lot of weight. Then we have a bottom board here. This is a screened bottom board, so we get a lot of ventilation in the hive and the bees don't overheat. The bees are going to come right in here and land on the landing board, and then they walk in and go to the upper part of the hive. This is the lower hive body, and this is where the bees make their families. 40,000 bees can fit into a space this size. We've got the worker bees, the queen bee, and the drones. And almost all of the bees are females. The workers go through different jobs. They have the cleaner bees, the nurse bees, then they go on to being wax makers, they're guards, and finally they go out to be foragers. As that family grows, then we add another box, and we can grow up to 80,000 bees this way. This is an example of one of the frames. These are open frames, and the bees are going to build their honeycomb on this. And inside the honeycomb, they put their eggs and their brood. So they also bring in the pollen and the nectar, and so they have all the resources that they need to feed their babies. I wanted to give you a close-up look at this specialized lip here that James has developed for this hive. James, maybe you could explain how it is you put this together so the frames fit in here.
So this lip, you have the body. It comes up and then it sticks out one stud at each end in order to give the frame a ledge where the tabs can ride on, so they don't go straight down to the other end.
Yeah, and the important thing about this, if you didn't have this lip on here, if the frame just sat on there, you would put the second hive body on top of it, and then you'd have all kinds of gaps there. And we don't want the bees to be able to come in and go out of those, and we don't want them to have to defend it. You see, with this design, it's absolutely It's absolutely straight, and it sits down within that hive body. So that's a really good design of yours, James. Thank you.
So we also have windows. So the windows allow us to see what's going on and check in on our bees without having to disrupt them, which then takes a day for them to go back to their normal operating procedures after being disrupted. Disrupting and being, you open up the hive physically and look inside. So the window just lets you look right through and the bees don't even know you're disrupting.
Perfect. So another thing I wanted to show you is that we purchased these caps. It's a flat surface that goes right on top of the pegs, and that just also helps us keep it sealed off really nice and tightly. So after you've done these, you typically put a queen excluder on here, and the queen excluder is a plastic piece with slots in it, and all of the worker bees can come and go through it with ease, but the queen is too chubby to fit up through it. So she never will lay her eggs, or no family will be raised in that upper section called the honey super. So this is we're in the process of working on this honey super, but you see it's shorter. It's not as deep as these other hive bodies, and the reason is this is what we're going to be harvesting, and the honey is incredibly heavy. So we're just going to have a shorter hive body. I see this is an example of why James ended up doing that, the lip on the last ones that you saw, was because if you just put another piece on this, it's not going to cover. So I really like this extra lip, and I'd suggest you build that in.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much the typical setup of a beehive, just as a regular one. We've got the base, the landing board, lower hive body, a second hive body, the super, and a lid. So that's pretty much it. The hive that our children built and we put over at the retirement community brought in 100 pounds of honey last year. I think I might have already said that. I'm pretty proud of it. And the hive has just been a great success and terrific fun for the kids and for the residents over there. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks.